Welcome to the threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where at least two of us are here for you tonight. So, if this is your first time finding us, thank you and welcome. We are so glad you're here. If you are back for more of our shenanigans, then we appreciate you too, because you are the real MVP. So tonight, our threesome is a twosome. Our point person, our optimistic realist, Star, is currently on sabbatical. And we are going it with just the two of us with no scab. So
if you're going to be on next week's episode, holla.
Right. So that dulcet baritone that you just heard, and we'll soon hear again, is our man in the middle, our voice of reason. His name is Magic. I guess he's not in the middle today, the middle. But, yeah. Hey, Magic.
Hi, how are you this fine evening?
I'm not high, I promise. Because I'm sleepy. I should be high, but I'm not. I don't need to be. I'm sleepy. And bring up the rear. As always, I, of course, identify as the pragmatic contrarian of the group, and they call me Storm. So, let's go. Let's get this on the road.
Let's go.
So, do you have any foreplay tonight?
Rest in peace to the great Dallas Penn. Truly ahead of his time and all of this shit. And I promise if it weren't for him, I wouldn't even listen to a podcast, much less do one. If y'all know how he affected your whole blackety black ass hip hop podcast wave, do your Googles.
Oh, rest in peace.
Or go to Bing. At least they give rewards. Google be spying on you and shit.
Bing spies on you too. They just do it with AI.
Yeah, they're just less flagrant about it.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. Somehow when I use the word foreplay and it's just the two of us, it comes across as a little bit more nasty.
I mean, I think my tongue game is official, but I don't know if we're ready to be doing dick yelps on this podcast.
I guess.
Next week.
Yeah. I got nothing. Yeah. It's been another rough week for me, like start to finish.
This is becoming pretty consistent.
I know. It's because
your outlook on the world.
No, yeah, you're right. That has a lot to do with it.
Silver lining story. Silver lining.
The problem is I'm good at my job, so they keep dumping more work on me.
Know that feeling?
And so I do it. I continue to do it, and so yeah, that's what's going on.
Baby, you
but
can do it.
You're right. It is my outlook on the world.
Do it right.
Because I could probably do what I do for them. I could do it. I could freelance and probably make a lot more money. But
I know that feeling really well, but I do both.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about doing both, but I mean, I'm so tired just doing this. So, anyway.
Okay, words of wisdom. Along. Turn whatever emotion you're feeling into work ethic.
Okay.
Trust me, it's highly functional.
I mean, I have work. I clearly have work ethic.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I need to develop more work boundaries, I think, is what's probably going to have to start happening.
Good luck with that.
But, well, I mean, since I'm the only one that they have that can do what I do, they're probably just going to have to deal with me saying no sometimes. But
Speak of my life, sis.
Anyway.
It's my week for the fuckery.
It is.
Well, for the return listeners, y'all know I don't overly deep dive into things. I just write down my thoughts during the week and we can fucking discuss them as they go along. All right, random as fuck. Who would you be as a cartoon character?
Oh, that's easy. The Brain. Trying to take over the world.
The thing I always found funny about that cartoon is it's a question of who's the most intelligent out the two. I mean, the Brain is the easy answer, but Pinky makes way more sense.
I think it's more of a question of who is more deranged of the two.
Nah, I think the Brain's definitely putting more effort into it. Pinky's just his natural state.
Yes, I mean, and I like Pinky. I enjoy Pinky, but I'm more the Brain. Like that is definitely my MO. Trying to take over the world and failing miserably and trying it again the next night.
I hate to choose a pink character, but I definitely got to go Pink Panther.
Okay.
Maybe
Eeyore. Tall and silent.
Yeah. I'm getting back down to Slim. Give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
I liked Eeyore a lot. Eeyore was my dude. Everyone swore he was depressed. Him and Snuffleupagus they thought were depressed, and they were just like, "Will y'all stop fucking with me?"
Right. Snuffleupagus was just like, "I am just here," and then I just get accosted by a big yellow bird. I don't know what's going on.
I know that feeling too. Hey. I think who else?
That's terrible.
Joe Cool was my spirit animal as a child. Not so much Snoopy himself, but when he was in Joe Cool mode, I was like, all right, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I always liked Snoopy but all of the cartoon dogs were like my favorites. And,
the little chihuahua running around the big dog trying to act extra tough.
Yeah, Snoopy, Pluto, like all the cartoon dogs, and one cartoon skunk. Because
I see it.
because he was hilarious. I mean, he was a bit rapey.
Sexual assaulty, yeah.
Yes, he was a bit rapey, but he was hilarious because he was always in love.
We really need a psychiatrist to analyze this show.
Right.
Lord, why must he be like that?
Also, another character I always related to was Marvin the Martian.
Shout out to Four Eyes.
The Earth was in his way.
It happens sometimes.
I'm going to have to blow the Earth up. Yeah. So
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Sometimes you just don't need the threesome. The Earth can get out the way.
Yeah. And if the Earth won't get out the way, you blow the Earth up.
At this point in history, I'm not convinced that would have been a bad thing.
Agreed.
The Illudium P-38 space modulator.
Also, what was that other Martian guy? Kazoo. Remember the Great Kazoo?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. They used to do him so wrong.
This is such a podcast for old people.
Yeah, he was so bad at his job. It was terrible.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, your Al Bundy sports moment. Mine, easy. You remember Tobin Park?
Of course.
For the El Pasoans. At whatever time I was out there, this had to be early 90s, maybe mid 90s, but one of the rims on the outside court was super short. It might not have even been 9 feet in. For a person that's was super fast and super high jumping. I never really dunked in games, maybe on a fast break, but I'm coming down and I'm in midair about to lay it up. And my man L just screams out like, if you don't dunk on that. So I had to cock it back and punch it on the dude and watch him fall. That was it for me.
Okay, well, I mean, I've been to Tobin Park and I've watched a few, I'll call them games. Tobin Park.
Listen, Texas takes their sports a little too seriously. There's some ballers out there.
Yeah, I can only imagine what the competition was to begin with. But
it was ass.
Yeah, you.
It was ass.
Yeah, you. Because I don't know if I ever really had an Al Bundy moment.
They never scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
No, because they wouldn't let me on the football team. Despite, like, half the football team, like, going to bat for me. Like, they wanted me on the team. And the coach was like, no, I can't let you on the team. I can't let you try it. Because I was just like, just give me a tryout. He was like, I can't let you try out. Maybe
the Powerpuff game. I don't think I ever saw those in Texas.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't think we ever had one. I don't remember having one.
Shout out to the other states that do that bit of toxic masculinity.
Exactly.
Let the butch chicks get their shine.
Well, I wasn't butch, but I was very good at football, and they just would not let me. They wouldn't let me shine. So,
haters, all of yous.
I ended up being a halfway decent cheerleader too. So there's that. But I remember I was so mad at that coach because this was my 7th grade year, first year in middle school. And I wanted to go out for the football team, and he told me no. And you know what this fool told me? He told me I should go try out for volleyball. How the fuck
I like volleyball.
Is volleyball equivalent to football? Not at all. That's what I tell you. Not at all. And I remember the volleyball coach, like, she wanted me to try out because, they make you do all this bullshit in PE. So, I could play volleyball. I was actually really good at volleyball because nobody could hit my serve. But I didn't want to play volleyball because to hell with y'all. Why would I play volleyball when I could be at a football game? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I like volleyball more than football, but that's partially being raised in Germany in younger years. I'm a hell of a rugby player. By the time I got back to the States, I'm like, y'all get to wear pads? That's pussy. I ain't doing that.
Right. Right. Well, and that's how I felt because I would play the same guys that were on that football team. I would play with them. I had grown up playing football with them without pads, right? We would play tackle on the front lawn and stuff. So they knew I could play. They knew what I could do.
We was doing it in the street.
They wanted me to be on the team. Exactly. Well, we play in the street too. But
shout out to all the super football players that I was cooking all through recess, playground, and weekends.
I know that's right. And, shout out to Brad Alexander, whatever happened to you, because he moved away after our 7th grade year. But shout out to him for going to bat for me, trying to get me on the football team. Appreciate you.
Good looking, Brad.
Yep. He was also the best player on the team. So he didn't have to do that, but he did. And, I still appreciate him for it.
What position were you going for?
Receiver.
Okay.
But I could have played running back too. Either or.
They was always trying to drag me into quarterback or receiver. And with quarterback, I'm like, I'm not going to be the target of the fucking defense every play. Y'all can have that. And receiver, sorry, I'm just tall and fast. I can't catch to save my life. So I was on defense. I could stop anybody else from catching it.
And that was my thing. Like, I could catch anything that you threw anywhere near me. Like, I could catch it.
No.
And
on my high yellowness, I got all the butterfingers.
I also had no regard for my own safety, much to my mother's chagrin.
That either, but like I said, I grew up playing rugby in the street. So.
Well, right. Yeah. Well, and that's how I would end up getting, scrapes and bruises, and
I'm still
I never broke a bone though, so
nah, I broke a few bones too.
Yeah, I never broke a bone. So I don't know how I didn't break a bone. Ha ha ha. I don't know how I didn't.
Reverse cowgirl is known for the most penile fractures.
Yeah, well, I must be very careful because that's my favorite and never broke a bone. But yeah, I don't know why, because I was not careful as a child. I would think that I would have had like breaks and fractures and all kinds of other stuff, and I really didn't. I had very durable. My bones are made of strong stuff, I guess. So there's that.
I'm surprised I'm alive after all the dumb shit I was doing.
Oh, agreed. Because, I mean, I don't know. Well, you haven't been. I don't know if you've been back to El Paso recently.
Not.
Remember how we used to cut through the ditches?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't cut through the ditches anymore because they've put fences up, so the kids can't cut through there anymore.
And shit to jump a fence?
And somebody said, no, the fence is like 20 feet high.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But yeah, I was like, that used to be like our shortcut. And somebody said, well, they did that to keep kids from hurting themselves. But we used to take our bikes and like drive down. A lot of fights, but we would also take our bikes and like drive down those embankments with, of course we didn't have any helmets or any pads or anything. The fact that none of us died is fascinating.
No, the fact the kids need all of that now is still fragile. Is a hint.
Right. Also, nobody got bit by rattlesnakes or,
We used to play with black widows. It was
yeah, well, we used to dig and try to find snakes and and tarantulas. So, I mean, not that tarantulas are going to hurt you, but
but that one park had those ones that were like a foot big and jumped like 3 feet in the air.
Yeah. I mean, I always had a soft spot for tarantulas, also because, when you would swim in the summertime, if you had any friends that had a swimming pool, because I didn't have a swimming pool in my backyard, but the girl across the street did, and we would swim. If we were swimming after dark, we would always find a tarantula in the pool swimming with us.
Kinky.
And so I caught a lot of tarantulas that way. Fun times.
Yep. And y'all raising suckers.
Yeah, they take in all the fun out of childhood.
Oh shit!
And by fun, I mean danger.
Yeah, if your life ain't flashed before your eyes a few times, right. You ain't living.
Exactly.
All these little motherfuckers depressed.
Yeah. Right. They don't get to do nothing fun. Video games. That's all they get to do.
I mean, everything is perspective, so. If the hardest thing you ever had to do was clean your room, you don't know struggle.
Who, me?
No, the youth right now.
Oh.
Because when I'm at work, everybody's like, you're so calm. And I'm like, I don't have it in me to be mad over the goofy shit y'all mad about. I've been shot at. Like, life's good now. If my worst thing is an annoying customer, I'll be aight.
I don't think I've been shot at. I have been in the vicinity of shots fired a few times in my life. Yeah. But I don't think anyone's actually shot at me.
You weren't trying
I've
hard
had guns pulled on me, but nobody actually shot.
Hey, so thank the powers that be for bad aim.
No, thank the powers that be that, what is it that they God is good to babies and fools or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was all in on Fool at that point in life.
I was gonna say, and I was with the foolery. So
shout out to all of us that got to grow out of it.
Yes.
A significant amount didn't make it.
Did not, right. Well, didn't make it or still didn't grow out of it, because there's those.
All right, transition into moments in life you would like to pause, fast forward, or rewind.
Oh my goodness, so many. I mean, I just told you I was with the foolery. I mean, there were a lot of things that I wish I could rewind and like do differently. And then some things that I wish I could rewind and not have done at all.
Whole lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. I mean, my goodness.
I know my pause. My oldest daughter, who, congratulations on her finishing her basketball season strong, but she was in the NICU for like a month. And the day I brought her home, yeah, I could pause that and just sit in that one for the longest.
And that was going to be what I was going to say. If I had to pause, I would say I would want my child
back in the child days.
Back, yeah, like back in the before even going to school days, not so much the terrible 2s and 3s, but
oh, those are funny for fathers. I love that point.
Well, yeah, for fathers. But yeah, like age 4 and 5 were good, I guess, but that was the first year of school. But yeah, I mean, if I had known how fast it goes by, I think I probably would have been in the moments a little more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm about to get off this damn podcast and go hang out with my daughters.
Yeah, that.
Let's see, I would fast forward through any heartbreak, because Lord.
Okay.
Trying to think I would rewind my time with my grandparents. I so wish I was paying more attention to what they were saying.
Yeah, but almost all of my grandparents passed when I was really young.
All the more reason.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I had known that that's how it was going to be, I probably would have sat down with all of them, if I had known to do it at the time, and gotten some stories and perspectives, because I really feel like I missed out on those things. The only one of my grandparents that survived. Okay, one of my grandparents had passed before I was even born, and then the other 2 passed by the time I was 10, and so then the last one that was left didn't pass until I was 19, but I didn't really get a chance to get to know him, because my mother's father, because my mother wasn't speaking to him, so therefore I didn't really get I didn't really get a chance to get to know him a lot. So, yep.
Get it together, Black families.
Yeah, well, it's a little late for that.
That's the problem. It is up to you to change the generational curses, my sister.
Oh, well, I mean, I feel like I have. Well, kind of. I mean, I feel like I have. There's nobody that I'm not speaking to.
That's a big point, though. Yeah, make peace with people, even if you don't like them. Just Free your own soul a little bit.
Well, and that was my thing. Like, I don't know. I always felt like a little resentful that I didn't get to know my grandfather because my mother, I mean, he tried a couple of times. Like he would send us like, Christmas cards and birthday cards and things like that, but my mom wasn't having it. she wasn't having it. And
that's a step for them old crotchety dudes.
Part of me understands, as a grown person, like what she was upset about, because my mother's mom passed when my mom was 10 years old when her mother passed. And which would have been a perfect opportunity for her father to step up for his 5 children, and he did not. So they went to live in a teeny tiny house in Natchitoches, Louisiana, with their grandparents, with their mother's parents. So my mom was inspirational. Yeah. So my mom was raised by her grandparents, her white grandfather being one of them, in the Jim Crow South. And I can understand her being a little resentful of that while her father went and started a new life in Los Angeles.
As it happens way too damn often.
Yes. Yeah. But, so I can understand why she didn't talk to him. But I always, I was like, well, just because you don't like him don't mean that we can't be friends. Was always,
like how I think at some point people grow out of the dumb shit they were doing when they were younger, even if they weren't so young when they were doing it.
Well, you would think.
Like I said earlier, some of us just lived long enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever taken hugging styles into consideration? How many can you think of?
3 off the top of my head.
That's what I came up with, but we'll see if we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, like there's the full body hug, which is, more or less my method. Like I'm a hugger. I like a big bear hug, like a big full body bear hug. There's the church hug. Like, I don't really want to hug you, but I'm doing it to be polite. And then there's the bro hug.
The one where you give them dap with the right and then hug with the left.
Yeah. I want to hug you, but I don't want to come across as like I'm too into it. So,
Which, by the way, as I get older and older and more comfortable in my own, I don't have to look tough for you niggas. It's okay to hug a dude. It's all right. So for me, it was that one. There's the regular hug, and then there's the friend zone hug. The chicks do where they like lean forward and try to keep their tits off you.
Yeah, the church hug.
Yeah, same thing. So I was discussing this with a coworker, and she was telling me there's other ones too. There's the diagonal where you come across up and down at the same time, weird ass hug. And then
what?
Where you have one arm up and one arm down. It's weird. I've seen it happen though. And then she was explaining there's some psychological thing to okay, if I'm tall and I'm hugging downwards, it's like a comforting thing. But if I'm tall and I come under in like a lift up motion, it's a lift spirits thing in a hug, which those I had never considered.
I have never considered that either, and I hug a lot of tall men. But I mean,
y'all like it.
Of course I do. But I am a hugger, so I'm more of the aggressor, I should say, during hugs. So nobody's swooping under. Well, nobody's swooping underneath me to pick me up or even hugging down. Like, if you're tall,
to literally
like I'm going
pick
right
them up, but it's symbolic.
No, I get it, but I'm going right at your midsection, so you don't really have a chance to do any of that. Like, I mean, I'm going right there. Like
a
where I hug is
7-year-old.
where I hug. Exactly.
All right, people, be conscious of how you're hugging, and men, it's okay. And women, don't ever do the friend zone hug. It's disgusting.
Do it often, as needed.
If you gotta do that hug, you don't even like that person enough to be hugging them. Stop it.
Well, but again, it's polite. That's why it's there. It's so
It's
that
my
you're not
tism. I
rude.
don't do polite. I keep it real, son.
It's so that you're not rude and you don't have to embarrass anybody who's coming in for a hug. So you just give them the little church hug and keep it moving.
Jesus Christ. Let's discuss rude, because there's an actual situation out here. Most of you motherfuckers are offended because that's how you took it. It's not how it was intended. So if you walk around paying attention to people's intent more so than how you took it, the world is not that fucked up of a place.
I disagree. The world is very fucked up. And
see? That's how you took it.
I mean, the world is very fucked up. And I always think that people think the best of me, because I'm awesome. And so why wouldn't you? But at the same time, the world is quite fucked up. So.
Okay. Y'all listening to this? Next time you hug her, bring with the uplifts.
I mean, you can try. I'm sturdy.
I know this has been out the news for a couple months, but were you paying attention to the rapper revenge porn?
I was not.
Okay.
You want to tell me about it?
Apparently, Drake is hung. I didn't look at the video or picture or whatever it was, but somebody put his business in the streets. Who else was it? Freddie Gibbs was bent over spreading his cheeks, which I've actually heard that about him before. Once again, didn't see the picture, but hey,
Who?
Freddie Gibbs. I try not to kink shame.
No.
But even if I was into getting my salad tossed, I ain't taking pictures for you, but, to each their own.
Right. Also, unsanitary, but to each their own.
Yeah. Who else? Sexy Red had that whack-ass sex tape. Well, snippet, because it wasn't a whole tape. Which, alright, people, if you are comfortable being filmed doing sexual acts, just assume it's going to be on the internet. I don't know why anyone's acting surprised.
Right.
But I am actually cool with the ladies. The oops, nip slip. My album's coming out soon. I fucks with it. Shout out to Janelle Monáe for starting a trend. Although most of y'all don't even want to see naked. But, I get it.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you've seen one nipple, you've seen them all. A nipple is a nipple is a nipple, but whatever.
No. If you've seen one, you want to see the rest.
I mean, I don't understand, because men have nipples too. Like, I don't understand the fascination, but sure.
Okay, dogs have penises. Are you as impressed?
No. I mean, if you're asking if I'm impressed by the inner workings, I mean,
you know what?
I was a biologist.
You're not doing Red Rocket up in here.
Oh, well, I mean, no, nothing like that. But, I mean, God. No, biology is fascinating in and of itself.
I'll give you that, but there's a lot of things I'm comfortable not knowing. I wrote this quote down, and I don't remember who said it. I want to say it was Kendrick Perkins, but someone said, Embiid is this
that is
generation
not where I thought you were
Shaq.
going with that. They said what?
Embiid is this generation Shaq.
I disagree.
Blasphemous motherfucker.
Blasphemous, disrespectful AF.
Flat out wrong.
If Perk said that, he's way out of line. And he's a hater.
I remember just writing the quote. I wasn't sure who said it. It's got to be like him or Stephen A. or somebody to just be trolling. But stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
It's definitely trolling. Embiid is not. He's not nearly as charismatic as Shaq always was. He's not as likable as Shaq.
He's not the player.
In fact, he's not the player, but I'm just saying, like, socially, he like nobody's gonna want to put Joel Embiid in a movie. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Shaq could have been left out whole bunch of movies. But yeah, I get it. I get marketing.
Yeah, he's just not likable. I was watching him yesterday, and also shout out to him. Like, I feel bad for him. He's dealing with the Bell's palsy,
through the pain.
Which, by the way,
took you long enough.
I diagnosed from afar. Like, weeks ago, I was like, what is wrong with his face? He looks like he has Bell's palsy. And then he came out a couple days ago and said he had Bell's palsy. So, but yeah, hopefully, he can deal with that and get better. But yeah, he's just not a likable guy. I
think he's funny. Shaq level? No.
He's not even funny, because how do I say this without being disrespectful? There's a level of bitch-assedness in Joel Embiid that Shaq never had. You know what I mean? Like, Shaq
wouldn't be allowed to. This whole generation is kind of like that.
Yeah, but I mean, Shaq would talk his shit. But, when he lost the game, he just lost the game. Like, okay, he didn't like it. But he didn't act like a little, I don't
bitch.
know. I just
call it.
Yeah, thank you. I just can't. I can't with Embiid, and no, I do not trust the process. So don't at me, Sixers fans, because I don't trust the process.
One Stephen A. Smith quote that does come to mind when people are comparing LeBron and Jordan. He said, the rest of the league respects LeBron. The rest of the league feared Jordan. And that's what it is with Embiid and Shaq. Like, Embiid's a solid player, if not fucking fragile, but no, ain't nobody scared of Embiid.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you were, because you didn't know when Shaq was going to bring the rim down on you, on your head, right? You didn't know. You have no such fear with Embiid.
No. His big ass gonna try and cross you up and hit a step back three.
Yeah, but I will say this about Shaq. He was a beast from the time he got in the league, but the Dream used to give him work.
The Dream gave everybody work, and Akeem don't get enough respect. Yeah, he was cooking y'all.
Absolutely, but he used to give Shaq work in those first couple years, and then he got hurt and went downhill very quickly.
Old. It happens.
Well, in that too, yeah.
Shaq's last few years wasn't spectacular.
Those first couple of years, Shaq couldn't do nothing with him.
Mm-mm.
And but even if Shaq wasn't on the team that you liked, you still liked Shaq, is my point.
Yeah,
because
super
Shaq
charismatic.
He's always been like that personable of a guy. Yeah. Unless you're a Sixers fan, you don't really care for Embiid because there's just something about him. He's just very.
He's no Jokic.
Well, Jokic ain't no Shaq. Well,
no, very different game.
You know who I would say is close to Shaq in that way? Well, not in his game, obviously.
Nobody in the league socially. Right now.
Yeah, the big guy. What's his name?
Are we talking charisma or game?
Charisma, definitely not game.
I'm thinking, what tall charisma? Honestly, the only person's charisma that I like right now in the game is Edwards.
The guy to be on all the commercials. You know, he's bouncing the ball. He's bouncing it again. He's bouncing it again. What's his name? Help me out.
The only tall person I've seen in a commercial is Chet, and he ain't there yet.
No. Also, that commercial is awful.
Yes, it is.
And dude talking about it's a little flat. I'm like, you're the one that's flat. Like, how you gonna complain?
Oh,
you're the one that's flat.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. SGA.
I like his game too, but he Canadian. He don't talk enough trash.
Yeah, but no. What is his name? His name is like I can picture his face, and his name is on the tip of my tongue. He's in all the commercials. Everybody likes him. I want to say his name starts with a Z.
Man, you really got me. I was thinking Boban.
He's a European player.
But...
Who?
Boban.
Boban, thank you. I don't know why I said Z. Yeah, Boban's the one. Yeah. Everybody loves Boban. Too. Who don't love Boban?
He weird, but I guess, yeah.
Yes, but he's lovable. Is what I'm saying. Like, everybody loves him.
Good. I hope his acting career takes off, because his game was basura.
Well, sure. Sure. But, I mean, that's why he's still in commercials, even though he's not playing. Because, you know.
Because Trae Young can't reach a high shelf.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to see Trae DeBarge in a commercial. He's another one that seems a little...
annoying?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a dude I'd end up fighting on the court. Whether he was on my team or the opposition. Yo, cool with that goofy shit.
Yeah.
Who was it? Ariza that knocked him on his ass? Shout out to Trevor Ariza.
First of all, how Trevor Ariza was still in the league, beyond me. Wasn't he the one? He was the one that pulled the gun on somebody in the locker room, right?
No, that's Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, Arenas. Okay. Different A. Got it.
All right. And the final and most important question of the night, we'll probably put this in the questions for this episode. What are your house rules for spades?
I'm laughing because I was just having this conversation yesterday.
It can start a fight.
Started off, yes, because it started off a discussion about Uno, where we were talking about how the people who created Uno don't know the rules because they be on some bullshit.
You can put a draw two on a draw two, and somebody got a draw four. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, no, because they also said that when if you don't have a card to play, you just pull one card, and then if you can't play, it's the next person's turn. No.
The whole deck.
You pull the whole damn deck until you find a card you can play. And so then we got on the discussion about house rules and how in spades, because they were saying that only black people play spades. I said, that's not true. I used to play spades with a lot of white people, but white people spades is different.
Yeah, they use shit like nil. Wait, what?
They use nil, and they also don't use jokers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are we playing spades and y'all don't have jokers? Like,
we get back to that.
We get the house rules together right away. What we playing? Joker, deuce. Like what are the house rules? We need to know this before we get into a game of spades, right? With them, there's like the universal rules, and okay,
y'all playing hearts backwards. But all right, what's the rules in your house? Right. And y'all will be judged on these answers.
Well, I'm definitely a Joker deuce player.
Passive, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Joker deuce. But I don't do. I've seen people do that. Deuces are wild. Hold
on. What's the big Joker?
The big Joker?
Yeah.
Which one is the one with the colors?
Okay. You know, some
I mean,
people be
what do you
like, the one
mean?
that says guarantee is the big one. And I'm like, nah, that's the little one. But all right.
Yeah, the one with the colors is the big one.
All right. I'm with you.
But yeah, the only deuce that is a high card is the deuce of spades, and
Amen,
it's
Ra.
above the ace of spades.
Yep.
But the deuce of clubs is not wild in my house.
Oh,
But
I seen people
I
that the deuce of
understand.
diamonds is, and I'm like, that ain't even supposed to be in the deck.
Well, right, ain't even supposed to be in the deck, right? Yeah, but those are people who don't play with who don't play with the jokers, or they only play with one joker, or whatever, or I don't know how they
Weirdos.
play. But yeah, I don't do deuces wild. Just joker, joker, deuce. 10 for 2,
For sure.
obviously, and that's basically it. No, no talking across the table. You will get cut.
If not shot,
If not,
cussed
yeah.
out at the
I
very
mean,
least.
at the very least, yeah.
Okay, so over here, and it ain't from playing with white people, it's from playing with old people. I don't do Joker, Joker, Deuce. For the simple fact, I'm like, if you need 3 extra trump cards, I cannot call you a spadeologist. You a spades player. So,
It's not that you need them. It's just it's fun.
no, like, you need that many extra trump cards. There's already 13 in the deck. Like, come on. Um, I seen a lot of people in El Paso, like, if you miss deal, it's 40 points. I don't do all that. I do count the
Miss
bags because
deal.
people here.
Who the hell? Who
Hey,
the
I
hell
seen
miss deals?
drunk people. In this
That's
area, they play the
that's
Joker,
wild.
Joker, Deuce, Deuce thing, and it's so sickening. Plus, they don't count
Oh, they
bags
do Joker,
here.
Joker, Deuce, Deuce.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
weird. They don't count bags
Yeah,
here, and I'm
yeah.
like,
I'll do
that's
that.
just incentive to be lying the whole time. Like,
Oh
nah.
no 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 no
You get
no
10
no
bags
no. We
over, you
definitely
going
play
back
with
100.
bags. Right. We definitely play with bags.
Yeah, I ain't even heard of nil till I was 30 some years old. Don't nobody do that. You can do a blind 6 if you want
I
to.
was in high school before I learned that nil was a thing, and that was because I went to play spades. They asked my high school music teacher asked me, my choir director asked me if I wanted to play spades because it was one of those days we weren't doing anything. He was like, "You play
Gotta
spades?" I
love
was
music
like,
classes.
"Yeah." Sat down
So you
to
thought?
play spades, and I misunderstood. Like I thought we were playing black people spades. Like my bad. And that was when I learned that white people had their own version of spades. Because somebody bid nil, and I was like, "The fuck is a nil?" And they were
I didn't
like, "Well,
know
I
till
thought
I
you played
started playing on
spades."
computers, and it took me a minute. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. They were like, "Well, I thought you played spades." I was like, "I do, but we don't have no nil."
No,
Like,
never even heard of it in a black
like there's
household.
yeah. Well, because first of all, we always played partners,
Yeah,
so
I'm
somebody
telling you, they playing
like
hearts backwards. They ain't playing spades.
right, because the minimum I think was 4. The minimum book was 4.
Yeah,
So at least between the two of y'all had to be able to get 4. Like there
yeah.
was no nil. So I had to learn about nil.
And the hell with y'all changing the
And
minimum bid to 5? Like, chill out.
right,
Also, you get set on the first hand, get up. Even though the
right.
first hand bids itself, if somebody run a 10 first hand, you gotta get up.
Right. I mean, you
What's
might
the
as well
penalty for
because you ain't
reneging?
catching up. Books.
How many?
I can't. I want to say it was. I want to say it was 4.
I go 3.
It could have been 3. It's been a while since I played
Uh,
because okay, and then in college, okay, and this was something else we were talking about. And my child said because in college I found out that white people, at least here in Michigan, play a game called euchre,
yeah,
which
I've heard
my
of it. I
child,
don't know how to play it.
yeah, which my child said. Not only is it a made up game, it's a made up name. And I was like, I had to laugh because I can't dispute that because I hadn't heard of it until I got to college. And then they were like, "You don't play euchre? We have a euchre tournament." I'm like, "The heck is euchre?" You know. And I guess that's the white people's version of bidwis, or that's their equivalent.
Yeah, I don't even know the rules. Somebody look that up and let us know, cause
yeah, like they told me, but I was like 17 back then when I went to college, and they told me what it was. So at this point, I couldn't tell you. But yeah.
Also, not to get into the rap beef thing that's happening right now, but there is a distinct difference between, I want to say mutts, but let's go mulatto children and light-skinned people that were raised by two black parents. Since there's this little argument over whether light-skinned people can say the N-word. No. Huge difference between people with two black parents and somebody that was raised by their white mama. Let's make that clear.
You know what's funny?
Puerto Ricans use it every day.
Here's why here's why I eat shit. Okay. When you started to say, when you said you were going to say mutt, I started to get defensive because my dog. No, because of my dog. And then you said you were talking about people, and I was like, oh, well, then that's okay. I ain't shit. I acknowledge it.
Okay, and the gem at the end is, if it won't matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes upset about it. That goes out to you, and you. We're
doing the gym already?
And you. We 50-some minutes in. I'm going to bed.
I mean, I had one little topic I wanted to touch on.
Let's do it.
Not that. So apparently, Cardi B showed up to the Knicks playoff game when there were just 3 minutes left in the game.
As somebody who wanted attention and don't be paying attention to the game, go ahead, Cardi.
She was not there for that game, clearly, right? You show up with 3 minutes left on the clock. Come on. I mean, I need her to do better than that. I just really do. I mean, if there's 3 minutes left in the game, you can just wait outside.
Yeah. Get it together, Offset.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he has any say in the matter.
Yeah, I don't know that he has much say in anything, but...
Right. Yeah. But apparently she says it was because she was having a wardrobe malfunction.
I like her wardrobe malfunctions.
Which, first of all, if you have a wardrobe if you're going to the game and you're pulling out wardrobe, you're doing it wrong. You're not there to enjoy the game.
Most of the people in the front seats really aren't. They're there to be seen.
Yeah, that's crazy making you spend all that money on them seats. And I
mean,
wow.
If it was the Lakers, I think they give away the seats to the famous people, but they ain't in the playoffs.
Well, not anymore.
Also, LeBron is too old to be whining that much.
Yeah, but it's just what they do.
I get that, but full-blown hissy fits, ain't he like 39?
I don't know how old he is.
At that point, you should be going to the refs like, yo, son, what's with that call? What we doing? This nigga jumping up and down, screaming, throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, I don't know. The person who's whining irritates me the most, and I know, y'all gonna get on me about this. But
anybody over 6'4".
Luka irritates me with his whining. Because, first of all, we know he is not the greatest defender. But let him tell it, he has never fouled a person in all his days. Ever. Also, he never misses a shot unless he was somehow fouled, even if somebody wasn't even near him.
Look, how could you your man's Draymond swear he don't be fouling people either.
Oh no, Draymond knows he fouls people.
Ain't what he's saying in the interview.
Because you called it. No, he just mad because you called it.
Like, nah, I was flopping and the roundhouse punched this dude.
Yeah, well.
Gotta love it. I miss that era of basketball. I'm sick of watching 6'2" people come in the paint.
Well, I mean, if they come in the paint, because everybody really stands outside the 3-point line and just jacks up threes.
I'm fine with that if you're 6'7" and under, but if you're any taller and run into the 3-point line on a fast break, sit yourself down. It's disgusting.
I don't know. It depends on how good you are at making them.
Yeah, but there's maybe 5 to 10 who can manage to shoot above 40%. The rest of y'all trying to be Steph Curry and shooting like Aisha Curry.
Like, it never bothered me that that Dirk, my countryman, Dirk would
Dirk's
do it.
Official. Even Cat can shoot, but I'm like, Dirk, nigga, you big. Get in the paint. Joel, another one. What are you doing? If you decide to go dunk on somebody, no one can stop you.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the thing I liked most about the All-Star game. Cat started missing all them damn threes and decided to go start dunking on people. Like, oh, it only took you a decade to figure that out?
You know what? I feel bad for Cat. I really do. Because...
Charmin. Wet Charmin.
Because what...
Wet used Charmin.
Because one of my favorite players, like, really ruined it for him. And, I mean, you know, I love Jimmy Buckets. I do. But he talked about Cat so bad, I can't look at that man. Like, I can't look at him with any seriousness anymore. Right?
Yeah. At some point, you got to stand up for yourself.
And he wasn't wrong, but
at all.
I mean, he wasn't wrong. But still, I feel bad for him.
I gotta check and see what games are still on. All right, good night, folks. Star, we miss you. If you like the show, tell friends, tell foes, tell hoes, and tell small hoes, and small hoes, and small hoes. If you hate it, tell the whole internet. This is the worst fucking podcast ever. We suck.
Right. And the Clippers are losing to the Mavs, by the way, if you were wondering what's on. That's what's on.
Okay. I could catch that one. I like the Kyrie redemption year. Jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
even though Cat's from Jersey too, but we don't claim him.
He's been incredibly quiet.
Shout out to the Mavs organization.
Yeah.
Like, look, you shut up, we'll get Kyrie you this check.
Right. And I think that was pretty much what it was. Like, but he has decidedly made no noise this year, and you know, and kudos to him. Kudos to him.
Yeah, and he pretty much been there all season, which is a first.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess when him and Luka decided to figure out like who was gonna shoot, then it works out. But I mean, that happens to the best of them. You know, that first year with LeBron in Miami was much the same way. It was hard for them to figure it out, but they figured it out the next year. So
good luck to all the teams still in it. Hi to all y'all that got swept.
Oh, you said swept because I was about to get defensive, but my Heat did not get swept. And, you know, we were overwhelmed by injuries.
Yeah, I knew the Heat wasn't getting out the first round. They ain't having no people on the floor.
Yeah, well, once Jimmy went down, it was not happening. But, I mean, they still managed to win a game. So, shout out to them. And, you know, Spo and I will be back next year to coach. Well, at least I will. I don't know about Spo.
Spo ain't going nowhere.
Well, maybe not.
Unlike Darvin Ham.
Yeah, he might be looking for a job.
I'm putting money on it.
Yeah.
A sponsorship by one of these gambling companies.
Yeah, we'll see.
Give shitty sports picks.
All right.
Good night, people.
Good night.